Right, correct me if I'm wrong, but I bet most people would love to have a fast 5K under their belts, because when we're talking about personal best times and all that stuff, it is pretty much the first time that most people ask about.
Yeah, now the 5K is a great distance, whatever the level you are, from beginners right through to elite, highly competitive athletes. For beginners, it's really good just because, well, it's quite a moderate distance, and for the top level competitive runner, it's that high intensity and speed aspect that draws them to it. So all that being said, today we thought we'd bring you 4 excellent run workouts that can help you run a faster 5K.
Okay, the 5K is a speedy distance. It's brutal, in fact. It requires a close to all-out effort for what feels like that little bit too long.
Yeah, so you need to develop your top-end speed, and to do that, we need to have a speed session. Ideally, you need to think about including one of these into your schedule per week. But be careful of that, because before we get to be able to do that, please make sure you've got enough base and volume training behind you.
Absolutely, and now a lot of athletes choose to do these on an athletics track to really hit those top end speeds, but you can actually perform these wherever you like, wherever's easiest for you. Now we have 2 speed sessions for you today, and the first one is a warm up of 10 to 15 minutes easy, finishing with a few 50 to 80 meter strides or accelerations to open the legs up and get them ready for the session. And then the main set is 2 sets of 8 by 200 meters with an RPE of 9 to 10, or imagine around a 3K race pace, so above that desired 5K race pace, taking 2 minutes recovery between each rep, which can be an active jog recovery if you wish, and then finish that with a warm down of 10 to 15 minutes easy.
But we also have another one for you, which would be a warm up of a similar 10 to 15 minutes, finishing with those few strides that we talked about before. For a main set, we would have 4 times a kilometer at an RPE of 8 to 9. Now this is somewhere between this 3K race pace and your desired 5K race pace. Obviously the increased distance will make it harder to dip under the 5K race pace, but give it your best shot. You may well find that you want to start at your 5K race pace and then work from there, taking 2 to 3 minutes of recovery between each rep. Similarly, finishing that with a nice easy 10 to 15 minutes easy warm down. Now, speed sessions are all very good and well, but occasionally it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to drop one of them and add in a hill rep session, right?
Hill sessions are fantastic for improving our strength, activating muscle groups, and actually also preventing injury. They're really good during the off season, but as we move closer to the race season, as we've already mentioned, we want to start increasing our speed workouts and that top end speed. But the hill sessions are fantastic to maybe replace the odd speed session every few weeks.
Yeah, exactly. And what's particularly good about them is they still bring that same intensity level to the table that you get from a speed session. But crucially, because we're going at that slower speed, because we're running uphill, they're far more forgiving on our bodies. And this is excellent if you're somebody that struggles perhaps with injuries because of the load that comes from those speed sessions. So on that note, a session that we've got as an example would be so a warm-up of 15 minutes steady to the hill of choice, which should be somewhere around about a 5 to 8% gradient, with a main set of 6 times 90 seconds at a hard 5 kilometer race pace effort, or an RPE of 8. Jogging back down the hill to recover with an extra 10 seconds to reset and compose yourself at the bottom before going again. Warm down can just be nice 10 to 15 minutes easy jogging.
And finally, for the threshold workout, and this is actually one of my favorites, and I tend to try and leave this until later in the week. So I tend to start my week with the speed workout somewhere around the Tuesday, and then allow myself time to recover, and then do a threshold workout somewhere around Friday or a Saturday.
Yeah, now the beauty of these sessions are, because you're working pretty hard, you tend to cover quite a lot of distance or working hard for quite a long duration, and that means you can actually come away from these feeling that you've achieved quite a lot, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, and the idea behind a threshold session is that you're working just below your lactate threshold, and lactate threshold being the point at which you start to produce lactic acid at a faster rate than you can flush it from your system. And with this, you then can work just below that ceiling in a threshold session and cover more duration and distance at that intensity, and all whilst bumping your threshold up.
Yeah, now essentially, the more you can bump up that threshold pace, the faster that we're gonna go before producing lactate. I don't know about you, Mark, but I think that's pretty important for a 5K, right?
Oh, absolutely. Now, intensity-wise, for a threshold session, that should be around a 7 to 8 out of 10 on the RPE scale. In terms of heart rate, that's around 85 to 90% of your maximum heart rate. And in terms of pace, if we take our 5K current race pace, you want to add 30 to 40 seconds on per kilometre. And for your 10K current race pace, you want to add something around 15 to 20 seconds on per kilometre.
Yeah, and if you want to have a specific session for that, then we've got one here. With a warm-up of nice and easy 15 minutes jogging, we can lead into a main set of 8 minutes at threshold pace with a 2 minutes jog recovery. Then there's a 6 minutes at your threshold pace with 2 minutes recovery. 4 minutes at threshold pace with 2 minutes jog recovery, and then finishing off this main set with 2 minutes at threshold pace with 2 minutes jog recovery. That gives us a total of 20 minutes of threshold intensity within the workout, and finishing all that off with 10 to 15 minutes nice easy jogging for warm down.
Well, there we go. There are 4 5K workouts for you, and please do let us know how you get on with them in the comments section below. And if there are any other workouts or races that you're targeting, you'd like to know how to train for, then please do let us know in the comments also.
Yeah, and obviously if you've enjoyed this video, please hit that thumb up like button. Don't forget to click on the globe and get all the other videos we've got on GTN. And if you want to see a video that we did on how to run a sub 20-minute 5K, well, you can find that here.